All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have found the weapon that was used in the Charlie Kirk assassination. So let's watch a little bit of this. And I guess they found it by the wood line over there. And here shortly, we'll do another video and pull up the Google map and everything and see the wood where he took off. Supposedly he came down off of the building and took off into the woods, but there really wasn't any woods around there.
As a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles in charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning, I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also...
All right, I wonder if it was a 30-30 bolt action. Wow. One-shot weapon. Makes sense. A lot of these new sniper rifles are like that, like the 50 cal and everything is one-shot bolt action. So, yeah, it's my question is how did he, you know what, Gray Hughes? I don't know if you folks were watching Grays. I was in Grays last night. And he's got footage, but I don't, people are like, can you believe what he's made things up or something like that before? Well, it's YouTube. That's what it is, entertainment pretty much. But he was showing a photo or a video that he caught, which we actually seen that video. We played it on my channel, but he seen somebody on the roof. Well, it does look like somebody on the roof, but there was other footage out there. But my question is, that dude didn't move. He didn't move. He said, There was nothing, no movement from the object. So I don't know if it was that triangle with the cross on it, or that what is it, a pyramid with the cross on top of it, that was sending some kind of a shadow down that made it appear like it was someone there. But it's pretty interesting to see how he made it through all this and evaded and got out of there. And my question is were the other two people that were picked up diversions to get him away? You know, it's possible.
Collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him.
Good morning, Deb.
We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these types of cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
Commissioner International Studies. Can I ask about real information about him or her, so your confidence back into that DVR? Can you talk to us about their movements, their demeanor? Do you think it's a man? And also, can I ask, what were the security arrangements in place? Was that route being monitored? It's a question many people will have.
Absolutely. So what I'll release about the suspect is suspect blended in well with a college institution. And we're not releasing many details right now, and we will soon. But right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college age. We are confident in our abilities to track.
All right, so the guy was disguised as college age or whatever. Did he blend right in? That probably did. Was he on campus there? Did he have a dorm there? Did he take off into the, what's the question? What did he, how did he do this? How did he get through all this and not be seen on camera? If it was a bolt action rifle, it don't collapse. I haven't seen lately any bolt actions that collapse down into like these, these weapons we have today. They break down. You could break them down into something that you could put in a backpack or something. So a bolt action rifle, I mean, they had to have seen it, not unless he took the gun apart. This guy must have been pretty meticulous, because he took the gun apart, got it up onto the roof or whatever, and then reassembled it. Now, I'm not going to say it can't be done. It can be done. Some of these dudes can take a gun apart and put it back together within seconds. Now, I'm going to keep that in mind. How did this guy get around that campus with a bolt action rifle, long rifle, high power rifle?
that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately, we will reach out for the public's help and the media's help in pushing those photos. That was a new development overnight, working through the night, studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now. As far as the security, I cannot speak to that. Neither the Department of Public Safety nor the Federal Bureau of Investigation was involved in the planning or security of this event, and that'll have to be a question later for other agencies.
Good morning, LMO, or laugh my bleep off. Yeah, they picked up 2 people yesterday. They picked up the older man that was on the ground that he screamed out he'd do it again. They also shortly after that picked up another gentleman that was riding a bike through there, and he had a weapon, but it was a pellet gun. It was not, although these pellet guns today that we're pumping out could do that kind of damage with the new pellet guns that they got out today. If you were close enough, a pellet gun would have done that much damage. The new pellet guns that are coming out are very high powered, and they're mainly for people that can't have weapons, right? You're not allowed to have weapons. So these are like I don't know, they shoot ball bearings, they shoot tear gas, they shoot rubber bullets. They're CO2 cartridge, but they will break ribs. And if you got a steel ball bearing in it, yeah, that'll rip you up. It'll rip you up. I know it's not a real weapon, but it will tear you up pretty bad. It'll make someone think twice about trying to attack you if you had one. They pack a pretty good punch and break ribs and stuff. So, we're advancing. Technology, everything is advancing. Even CO2 cartridge weapons are advancing.
You mentioned that you found the gun in a wooded area. Do you believe that the suspect could be hiding in the woods? And is that suspect possibly still in this area?
So that's a good question, and it's a question that goes to the safety of the community, right? No, not in those woods. We've walked through those woods and secured it. As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so.
So if it fails, then it's with the BDC. From the images you have.
All right, so they still do not have this guy in custody. You just heard it right there. They have a weapon, and to build a case, what do you need? A weapon. Where did they find that weapon? They said in the woods somewhere out there. But now you have a weapon. And that's good. Now, hopefully they find this guy. I hope they put his photo out. Right? We don't want this guy, next thing you know, you got someone that moves in next door to you. And it's this dude. I imagine he's on the run. Now, it's funny they talk about a jet because the satellite photo that we were looking at yesterday, there was an airplane in it. Now, I don't know if they have their own airstrip out there at that college, but there was actually an airplane on the ground at the college. So is it possible? Some people are talking about, well, there was a jet nearby or whatever, a plane that took off and it came in as well, yeah, it's very possible. The dude does the hit and he's on a plane. He's got diversion, meaning the guy driving the bike that has a weapon on him, although it was a pellet gun. And then you have the guy, when the shots rang out, you had the old man that said he would do it again and caused a diversion. And that was the old man, like laugh my A off, was saying, excuse me, that you thought it was the old man. We all did. The video I did yesterday, I showed him on his knees. He was handcuffed, but they let him go. And he could have very well been just a diversion or a mentally ill person. We really don't know. Old timers or whatever they call it. We don't know, but they released him. And then shortly after that, they picked up one more guy that was riding a bicycle that had a pellet gun rifle with him. And they picked him up, but they released him. And we just heard it right from the horse's mouth that the guy is still on the loose. He's still on the run.
You see clearly the suspect's face. You say he's college age, you believe he was from this university, and how far do you think he may have gone in this time?
So I can't comment specifically on his face or any details such as that, as it's continuing to be a part of the investigation. And again, we'll release that shortly. However, we're doing everything we can to find him, and we're not sure how far he has gone yet, but we will do our best.
Is there an image of his face?
We have images of the suspect.
Do you think the gun's owner?
Now that you've been able to recover, do you believe you know this person is the person that you believe for?
Again, as part of the investigation, we're not releasing any details such as that right now. We are exhausting all of our resources to be able to collect those, but that's, again, part of the investigation.
Have you found the owner of the gun?
Excuse me?
You said you found the weapon. Have you been able to trace back the owner of that weapon or persistent?
We are working on that, but again, part of the investigation that I can't release. Not at all. We've got complete and total support from everyone from the director on down, and it's been an incredible supportive environment so far. All I can say is that we're working the investigation the best we have with the environment we're given. So thank you.
Those are all the questions for right now. Thank you, everybody.
Wow.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $50,
Wow, that's something there. Well, thank God they got the weapon. You can't build a case if you ain't got a weapon. Well, there you go. You know, I do believe they should be putting his face all over out there. I haven't seen anything. Have you ladies seen anything of a video or anything this morning of the suspect? I haven't yet, but give me time to look around on the thing and I'll find out. You haven't seen nothing either, Deb? So this guy still is on the run. And now that they're talking about jets and everything like that, well, I'm guessing he might have skipped town or something, or we don't know. Where's that plane going? They would have to track the plane and all that. It could have been from another country. We don't know. It could have been, you know, this guy was, this Charlie Kirk's guy was very big into religion and fighting the devil and all that. I've seen all of his videos. And I thought it was pretty cool, right? He'd go up against these people that were literally dressed and looked like the devil, you know, people with all kinds of crazy stuff tattooed on their bodies and devil stuff or whatever. And he would tell these people, you know, it's all right, Jesus loves you and everything. And some of them would break down crying. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So he was a Jesus fighter, right? He was into God and everything. So yeah, very, you know, it could go politics, religion, either way you go, it's a mess. Whether it's politics or religion, there's always confirmation or conflict, and yeah, it's just crazy. I believe in God. That's it. You know, everyone, what denomination? You know, I was baptized Catholic, eighth or Lutheran or whatever. When I was younger, I went to church in all the way into my high teen years and whatever with the ladies I was dating at that time. You know, go to church on Sunday. I don't worship the devil. I don't worship the devil at all. I pray to God and that's it. I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way. I'm not a scammer. I've worked my whole life with a disability and just recently got put on disability because the government, the scientists, and everybody says, your cuckoo is loose. All right, that's fine. I understand. I've had many accidents in my younger age. Car fell off a cliff, like 3-4 stories, landed on my head. Numerous things, right? It finally caught up to me. The old noggin's not what it used to be. Wish it was. I was pretty smart at one time. But it even don't matter with my disability or anything. I'm not that dumb to worship the devil. And I ain't that dumb to rape, pillage, and steal from my fellow Americans. And yeah, who knows? It could have been the Satanist. It could have been somebody that's, you can't tell us not to worship the devil and practice magic, and they took him out. That's possible. That's very possible. I got people trespassing on me right now and using magic or whatever. Spelling me, so bear with me, folks. In Jesus' name, amen. Let me see what Debbie said. I was baptized when I was 1 month old in the Roman Catholic, but I don't live by that. I love the Buddha religion. Oh, that little lady jumps all over. She's into the Buddha stuff now. What's Buddha running now these days? Ain't Buddha like live and let live? Oh man, I already seen Andrew's crew is already putting videos out there. I had 80 views yesterday, Debbie. Thank you, Andrew. Go ahead, make your videos. We're just actors over here. This is just a movie channel, Andrew. But everyone was right. Pushed his buttons, and now I'm getting views and subs. My apologies. I'm not going to do no more videos on the Summer Wells case and anybody that was a suspect in the Summer Wells case. I'm done with that. It's just too. And I don't want to mess with Andrew. He's got a crew and everything. He's got his own crew or whatever. I like the comedy show. It's so funny. Debbie's. Well, it ain't funny. He's got a bunch of people over there, right? He's been going round and round with that one woman, PG or whatever. I don't even know her. I've watched her channel before, but I don't know. I don't know Andrew. But they were right. That one. Remember last night, that one person came in and, well, you must have did something because he's making videos. And I'm like, well, that's what they said to do. Right? His team would get triggered. Next thing you know, all kinds of videos, and people would be coming over here going, right. AB was right. PG, a mouth is disgusting. And AB and the rest of them ain't dumb. They did the same thing, and everybody went over to AB's channel after, they were all complaining about it, about AB, which I always go over to. I always watch AB. I've been in his chat before. I don't know. I fell for it too before. People made videos about me in the Delphi case. Right? That got me a lot of subs and views in the Delphi case. I struck a nerve with some of them big ballers in the Delphi case, and I got a bunch of subs out of that and views. I got a couple of my videos got 3,000-4,000 views on them. No hard feelings, Andrew. It's all acting. I keep telling people that. It's acting. I'm not going to go out. What, you think I got? You think I got money to put gas in my tank and go hunt down Andrew or Ernie Shell or whatever? You folks see the price of gas. I'm not government. You couldn't pay me enough to do them jobs, and they ain't wanted. Andrew's not wanted for anything. Why would I? I don't care. It's just acting, Andrew. That's it. I know you're going to make your videos, but be respectful. And another thing, I'm not looking for your kid. I quit making it sound like I'm looking for your kid or something. Nobody is looking for your kid. Maybe the government, but no. I don't even know this Hunter kid, so I just voiced my opinion of is he, for one, he was underage. He shouldn't even been questioned by the police without proper authorities. That's all I said. That's it. No, Debbie, Andrew's going to end up killing us all. You don't. I'm telling you, you got to watch it. He's only in his 30s. These young punks today, they'll take you out in a heartbeat. No, he won't kill you. He'll kill me. He likes you. No. He likes you. He's got people all over the place, so I ain't taking no chances. It's just too crazy for me. But I want to give hats off to the FBI. All right, FBI, you're watching. I know you're. Congress, Senate, everyone, I know you're. Get this guy's face all over YouTube. Right, this suspect in the. If you guys know who he is, put his face out there. He loves you. He loves every woman that comes into his chat. And it was all acting. I did. What did I do? Well, I took a page out of what all the other YouTubers did. They mentioned his name. Next thing you know, he gets upset. He starts doing all these videos. And what does it do? It brings people in. You know how many people I sent to Andrew's channel by doing them videos? People thought Andrew was off of YouTube. I had a couple people yesterday come in when we were talking about it. And they said, I thought that dude was off YouTube. No. And they went back over there. So it works both way, Andrew. No hard feelings, dude. You're a bad mofo. Right? You're a bad mofo. Release the curses you put on me or whatever the heck or whatever. You're going to get views out of it. I've noticed you already did get views by just using my name. I mean, my name is something, Andrew. It's a contract that only certain people can use the name. A very famous name. And that's just like, Trump gave me some tips. He's like, put the name out there. Your name is something, Johnny. And you can make money just off of the name. Just off of the name. Right? That's pretty crazy. But, you live and learn. I don't know. I've sent people over to Andrews. I've done videos and told people, go check out Andrew's channel. Go check out AB's channel. Go check out Ernie Shell's channel. Ernie's healed. He's super tiger. You can't kill him. I don't know what you people are. He had massive gashes in his arm. All over his body, and they injected him with that tiger blood serum. And within days, boom, it was healed up. The guy's unbelievable. Remarkable. Just remarkable. Have you ever seen the picture of Destiny? Who's Destiny? I have no idea, Debbie. Who's Destiny? I'm just saying, I'm thanking the FBI for finding the weapon. That was pretty fast. And that weapon could have been anywhere. That dude could have shoved it down one of them air vents. It could have been anywhere. It could have been left on the roof. It could have been anywhere. But they got it in the woods. And that's another thing I want to do. Put your glasses on, please. Have you seen the picture? Oh, what picture, Deb? Have you seen the pic of Destiny? Put your glasses. Oh, yeah. My glasses are on. The pick. What? What is she trying to say? Who's picture, Deb? I'll show you later. I don't know. Send it to me. I'm under a demonic attack today, so just bear with me. All right. What we're also going to do, real quick, let me find it. Lord, I forgot. Lord, thank you for another day. All glory goes to God. Forgive me for my sins. Thank you for our daily bread. Yeah, supposedly he took off into the woods, but I don't see wood. I mean, there's tree areas, but I ain't seeing a lot of woods, and not unless it's this tree line here that they're talking about would be considered woods. Let's check it out here. He might be gone. All right, hold on. I don't know. Somebody's. Let's check this out, Debbie. All right, I really don't see too many woods around there. Do you, Deb? I mean, you see these? I mean, you see trees right here, right? But not really. I mean, there's some trees right here. So he come from, Charlie was over here underneath the tent. I do believe the shot came from over here. So he must have walked into this tree line. And if that's the case, he's somewhere in, he could be somewhere back here in this subdivision. Debbie said, I think he hit the highway. He might have. He might have did this, walked right, because these are all parking lots, Debbie. This is all cars here. This is all cars here. And yeah, or he could have walked right off into the subdivision. Now, I would get some people, I would get a team of guys and start knocking on doors here in this subdivision around here to see if they had any ring cameras or any kind of security system that picks this guy up coming out of the wood line here. Yeah, Debbie said he had a car and he took off. It very well possibly could, because this is all parking lot back here. This is all cars. Let me see if I can zoom in. This is all parking lot. That's all parking lot cars there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll zoom in. Let me get back over there. That's all cars. There's trees there, but it's actually a parking lot. And there's also more vehicles. Let me get over here. Right here. Oh, yeah, it's very well possible he hit a car. Why are they talking about a plane? They're talking about a jet. So it's possible something, and that's what's crazy. There's just too much rooftop. There's too much roof area for only 10 guys to cover. There's there's just too many roofs around, you know. But they are pretty much saying that the shot came from the left side from over here. Now, JLR thinks it was over here on this building, this gray roof. And I do believe, what's his name? Gray Hughes was saying the same, but I think it was over further. We'll have to see because Charlie was right down in here. So I think it was probably over a little more, or possibly even this roof right here, this white one, which would have gave a perfect angle of what the guy was trying to accomplish. I think the weapon was already up there. I would imagine he planned all this. Now, I was saying that last night. This could have been like a Kennedy thing, like a Lee Harvey Oswald, where everything was in place. All he had to do was walk into the building, take the shot, drop the weapon, and walk away. The guy made mistakes. If they have a weapon, I wonder if it was if the guy wiped it down right before he left it. Make sure he wiped it down of all the stuff. You might be right. Just there's too many ways to get out of there. My opinion. Yeah, either I talked to somebody or was around somebody, Debbie, and tried to give me some bad juju or something. I wonder how long this was all scheduled for. I don't know. They had over 3,000 people there. There was a scheduled event, or they knew somebody was coming there. So it put in place for everything. Now, like I said, there was rumors that Charlie was going to. I even think the police said that in the first press release, that he was a religious person, but he also was a candidate or possibly running for president. A lot of people liked him. He had a big following, and it's possible maybe he was a threat to somebody within the politics, maybe. But that's what I was under the impression, that it was possible that he might run for presidency. Now, that could have been just rumors. We're not sure. All right, hold on a minute. All right, we got some footage here. Hold on a minute. We got footage of a guy's face. Hold on, Debbie. JLR's got him. God dang JLR. He's showing somebody. Hold on a minute, Debbie. God dang it, JLR. How you get so good? We got a photo of somebody. Hold on, Debbie. Folks, there's JLR's channel in chat. Check it out. I'm going to put it also in my description. Both channels are in my description. Let's blow this up. Oh, dang it. Hold on a minute. There's the guy they're saying, I think, who was dressed like a college person. He was that age. What do you think, Deb? He's got a hat on and sunglasses. What do you think? Look at what the tent said. Prove me wrong. You know, Deb, I was watching video yesterday, late last night. And I'm going to tell you what, in that area, you're not going to be able to tell where the shot came from if you're listening with your ears. Why? Because the sound is ricocheting off of all these buildings. You see them concrete blocks there? That's where, you see the tent. You see the concrete blocks that are going up in steps. It would echo throughout all there. You're not going to be really able to tell where the shot came from. But I've been listening to video. The further you are away from Charlie, the quieter the shot was. Once we get real close to Charlie, it sounds like someone shot right from the side of the stage. That's what it sounds like to me. I know a lot of people are going, what? But if you listen to the videos, when you hear that shot, it sounds like a firecracker or a BB gun going off. If you were in the back on the buildings, on the upper levels, that's what it sounded like. People turned their head and looked behind them. But that was because the sound ricocheted off of all this stuff, all this concrete and everything. But if you listen to the videos, you'll hear a tick. That's all you hear is tick. And people look, what was that, a firecracker? But if you listen to the videos of the people in the front row of where Mr. Kirk was speaking, it sounds like the shots were right there, closer than what they are thinking. Charlie Kirk's had a full schedule and it's posted month to month. So the bad guys had time to prepare. Exactly. You're right about that. If you post your whole schedule of everything you're going to do, everywhere you're going to be, then people know exactly where you're going to be and stuff like that. And that gives them time to set up and do things like that. Yeah, you're right. I am actually looking at this whole schedule. Now look at it. Yeah, he probably had a full schedule planned. I think didn't he get paid or something to do it? Now we don't know if this is actually the guy they're looking for. It might be. It might be exactly what he was talking about and what he would speak about. Yeah. I think they tried to give me their old family curse or something. Woo. Pretty crazy if you ask me, but there's the guy. Let's see if we can get anything better. Let me check out, see if JLR is showing anything better. Let me see here. All right, we got something here, Deb. There we go. All right. There he is. This might be the guy that they're interested in. What does he have on? It looks like he does have a backpack on. Right? But you ain't going to get no long rifle, high-powered rifle in there, bolt action. I'm going to have to look around. They might have created a new bolt action weapon that breaks down. So you can carry it. I mean, did it have a collapsible buttstock? Did it? Numerous things. In one photo, it looks like he has a backpack. In the other photo, it don't. Now, it does look like he's got a hooded shirt on, right? Long sleeved, black hooded shirt. If he pulls a hood over it, black hood, lays down on that roof or whatever, you going to see him if he's all dressed in black? Probably not. Wow, that is pretty crazy. At such a young age, but what are they doing? They're using these people to do their killings. The younger ones, what did we see when they tried to take out Trump? When they tried to assassinate Trump? A young dude. Probably tempted him with money or whatever. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the guy that took out Trump, or didn't take him out, but tried to take him out, was blinder than a bat. And if it was a real professional that shot, Trump wouldn't be here today. Trump would not be here today if that was a professional guy. That was some kid off of the street that did some shooting, but he was blinder than a bat. He was blind. He wore glasses, and he wasn't a marksman. Right? So, and what are they doing? They're probably using this younger generation. Yeah, the one photo on the left looks like he's got a backpack on, something strapped over his back. The one photo on the right looks like he don't have a backpack no more. It's gone. For all I know, this guy's still inside the college, and he could have been a resident in that subdivision right there. Wow. Crazy. And look what he's got on. American shirt. An American flag shirt. Standing wear or something. Yeah. Yeah. For all I know, he could have been slow or had a disability or something. Who knows? Let me see if we got any more photos of him. All right, Deb. They're saying, look at his fists are clenched. In the one, he's got problems or something. I don't know. Let's check that out, Debbie. You see this? His fists, both fists, are clenched here. And it says they're asking the public for help to identify this person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of Charlie. So they're asking them to call. Is that a Trump T-shirt with an American flag on it and Trump standing in that shirt, Debbie? Yeah, he might have had something wrong with him, maybe. Wow. Wow. Look at the T-shirt, American flag. Looks like an American flag to me. With somebody standing on it, maybe a podium or something. Or that's pretty crazy. Wow. Sunglasses, a hat. That's pretty crazy. Well, they're asking for help around there. You know, like JLR was saying the other day. Uh, Within hours, he could be in a different state. 5 hours, he's in Vegas. Yeah, that's true. Well, that was a Kohlberger. Kohlberger's in prison. Is he really? Is the real Kohlberger in prison? We don't know. All right, let's dump this. Let's see if we can see anything else. Does this dude have bushy eyebrows? Not sure the glasses are covering it up, Deb. Not sure. We'd have to check. Debbie said he got bushy eyebrows. We don't know. He might. He might. Let's see what else is going on. Nah, folks, go over and check out Miss Crime Lines and Lies. FBI rifle used in Charlie's assassination was found. Oh, we got 9/11 coming up, don't we? He wishes in paste he act with integrity instead. That's another thing we're watching. All right, we're going to look at this. How was this happening? Let's check this out real quick. Oh, I know this dude. This dude's pretty good. I've watched this dude for a while. This dude in the beard. It is 9/11. Is today the 11th? All right, everybody be on the lookout because we know how that been crap. Hunker down, keep your eyes open. If you see something, say something. Hold on.
Where the individual came from and where they fled to. But this is an issue that I'm having because if they were able to access a roof, if that is in fact a roof that they were on, how was that allowed to occur? Was that individual an employee at the school? Did they have some kind of special access? Or was a threat assessment just not done and a door, for instance, was left wide open? I think that's something that needs to be asked because that narrows the scope of who could have been up there and who could have taken that shot. They're also going to look at toll records, for instance, whose phones were where at that particular time. And this is information they can get very quickly from the phone companies with subpoenas. And that will tell them through the different triangulation of the different cell towers. It'll tell them who was where, not quite specifically, but pretty close, and how they were moving around that area. That's going to be very important if they can.
Well, that's true. If the guy brought a phone. If he brought a phone, then yes, that's true. They can say, "Oh, we had a ping right here." Impossible. That was on the roof. Right? Yeah, that might work. He's right. This dude's right. But if that guy didn't have a phone, because today, everything is being tracked by your phone. He might have left the phone. He might have went there, did the job without a phone, anything. But then again, today, as crazy as these young generation is, he might have set his phone up, filmed the whole thing. Maybe he did have a phone. I would suggest, check in to see. They would be able to tell exactly who had a phone, how many. Well, what you're really looking for is phone pings from areas where there shouldn't be people. That's what you're looking for. Phone pings where there shouldn't be nobody. There shouldn't be anybody on that building. Exactly. But there's a phone ping, so somebody was there. So they're right about that. He was probably running with everything. Everyone else jumped in his car, and he was gone. Yeah. Well, they're talking about a jet or something, a plane, and that very well might be. He might have. Who knows? He might have hit the highway and hit the. They're saying that a jet landed before this event occurred, and then that jet left after that. So we don't know. Your guess is good as ours. Let's watch a little bit more of this, Deb.
Identify those phones. And then they're going to be scrubbing social media before that event to see if anyone associated with that area was making threats, making odd comments, and it. But by and large, I'll tell you one thing that's very difficult about this that we didn't see with the Trump assassination attempts is in both of those cases there were eyewitnesses that pointed to the person. In one case, the individual was shot in Pennsylvania, but the other individual was caught because of a very good witness that pointed out the vehicle that he was in. In this case, we don't have either of those things. And I think primarily because a proper threat assessment wasn't done, the individual was able to get up there, take the shot, and get out of there while wearing black fatigues, carrying a rifle. And if their threat assessment was that incompetent, then most likely that shooter was able to get away, which means now they're backtracking and looking for more evidence.
You know, Jonathan, at least investigators aren't flying completely blind because there is footage, and the shooter is described as somebody wearing, like you said, a black mask, a black tactical vest. Shooter is described as somebody wearing, like you said, a black.
That incompetent.
Okay, what am I seeing here? Well, I'm seeing mountain range. Now, I know you guys don't believe me. That's fine. I'm nobody. I'm this, that. I'm this, that. But depending on how far that mountain range is, would a shot been able to be made from the top of that mountain? How far is that mountain range away? I don't know. It could be. I mean, I've listened to some guys in the military say that they've taken guys out miles away. Yeah, good sniper, good weapon. There's been rumors that some of our snipers have hit guys 3-4 miles away. That's too far. No, I don't know. Is it? Did you see the new sniper weapon that they had, Debbie? It's all over the YouTube. I was watching it. Is it really too far away? We don't know. With these new capabilities and weapons, they might be able to hit you from 5 miles away. Those mountains look really close, but they're not. Well. Debbie, you know our beloved military. They might have, I don't know. All right, let's fast forward and see what's going on.
Then most likely that shooter was able to get away, which means now they're backtracking and looking for more evidence.
You know, Jonathan, at least investigators aren't flying completely blind because there is footage, and the shooter is described as somebody wearing, like you said, a black mask, a black tactical vest, and a helmet. What does that say to you?
Well, it says that they came prepared. It says that that individual came prepared to take that shot. So they knew that Charlie Kirk was going to be there. They were familiar with that area. If they were not familiar with that area, they would.
Come on, folks. He had a black tactical vest on and a black helmet and a black mask, all dressed in black. It might be that dude that was on the roof that people were saying, is that someone on the roof? It might have been. He was under a black tarp. This might have been 100% professional. 100% professional, almost like what a country would do or our government or something. Debbie said, "Stop it, Johnny. You're being silly." I'm just joking. God Almighty, don't kill me. God Almighty. God. Just joking, Debbie. Tell Andrew not to kill me. I'm just a retard. Poor. All right, let's keep playing this. See what's up.
Couldn't just show up. I mean, the show had just begun. It was the first show in that tour. So that individual showed up and was able to gain access. That means they knew where the stage was going to be, most likely, and what building that they could get on in order to take that shot. They came dressed in case if it was a Kevlar helmet, then they were ready to get shot at. It also leads me to believe that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It sounds like the guy probably had body armor and was ready to take on if he had to shoot his way out of it. Yeah, it's too crazy. It's just too easy. It's too and this shit, and people probably did see the guy, but they thought it was security. They probably thought it was security, CIA, FBI, SWAT, as security. That's why it is too easy. It's just too dang easy. Can we agree on that, Debbie? It's too easy. That's why they're all like, hey, I think there's somebody up there all dressed in black and everything. Right? Now, look at here. Remember I showed you yesterday? They were talking about this morning on a channel I was watching. These shadows that are being casted onto this concrete thing here or whatever. But I think that's coming from the boardwalk that is above Charlie where he was set up. And it's casting shadow down onto this thing here. I don't know. Could the dude have been up there, took the shot, and dropped down? No, I don't. I don't know. We don't know. You're dealing with a pursuit. These, being that he came prepared and he sat there, how long? Who knows? He could have sat there overnight, making sure that he was not going to be seen. He got there before the event and set up. How you come walking in there? Let me tell you my explanation. How did this guy get in there and get out? You didn't have enough security. That's my opinion. You didn't have enough security. That's how these guys come in and they get out, because it's just not enough security. I imagine he watched. He probably even looked up. Is there going to be CIA there? Is there going to be, who's going to be there protecting this guy? This guy probably went through all that. Well, it's just going to be like 6 to 10 guys, police. Okay, how many people are we going to have attend? Well, it could be any, 1,000 to 5,000. You got thousands of people running around. Now that causes more of a diversion. You got people screaming out in the crowd after the shot's taken. He'd do it again. That could be something. It could be nothing, but it also could be part of the team to draw attention away from the shooter. All right, let's keep going. Debbie, I'm just playing, Deb.
There's a possibility they went back inside that building, took off those clothes, and exited with everyone else in the melee of the situation. Because if there was only 6 police officers there, remember, Charlie's team is not responsible and cannot just shut down buildings and then occupy the whole space. That's law enforcement's job. So if there wasn't enough law enforcement there to do a proper perimeter security, then that means there wasn't enough law enforcement there to weed out the people as they ran off.
Jonathan.
Exactly, Mr. Jonathan. They were underpowered, understaffed, right? Charlie did have his own security team, but it was probably very small. and they weren't in charge of setting up everything like, CIA or Secret Service or anything. So they relied on the police department. At that time, the police department said they had 10 people there, 10 guys. A couple of them were in plain clothes within the crowds. They weren't on the buildings. They weren't on the roofs. Why? Well, because they didn't have enough guys to cover all that roof. There ain't nothing but rooftop around there. There's just way too many areas that it could have been. And you have to take in consideration now, folks. We're living in a time where our weaponry can shoot miles, right? Not 200, 300, 400, 500,000 feet, miles. Miles away. You can't even see them, and they hit you. So, yeah, I would say this dude's probably right, this Jonathan guy. They just didn't have enough power, enough cover, enough men on the ground to make sure as the people were leaving, they can go through everybody and see, is anybody running away with a weapon or whatever. They didn't have people properly stationed all over the roofs. They didn't use any drones. If you're under power, why ain't you using drones? Excuse me. I got people attacking me or something. Family curse or something. They say burps are demons that can leave you. I believe it. Let's get back to this.
Gilliam, thank you so much for being here this morning. I know some of your colleagues on our air from the FBI earlier this evening said this looked like to them a professional hit. And I think to Carly and I and to you as well, that is one of the major questions that's still outstanding at this point in time.
Well,
Can I
go ahead,
can I say
Jonathan.
one thing?
Yes,
Sure,
you can.
quickly, please.
If I gave you a set of Legos and I told you to build a house with it, you may get it wrong. But if I give you instructions, you'll eventually get it right. We've had now 3 assassination attempts. This one was actually accurate and killed Charlie Kirk, all using the same avenue of approach and the same vulnerabilities. People aren't locking these down. And so finally, somebody came there and took advantage of that and killed someone. And I think that is very important for everyone to realize that if they're going to have these events, they have to lock down the perimeter and not allow people around that area. Charlie Kirk was a civilian. So people need to realize that a civilian was killed yesterday for exercising their free speech, and largely because of people wanting him dead, but also because security failed in locking down that area.
He was killed while debating, which is what this country was founded on. He will be remembered for, among many things, engaging in civil.
Wow. Well, there you go. There you go. No, Debbie, it's not funny. They're going to kill me. Andrew, if you're watching this video, don't kill me. AB, don't kill me. Ernie Shell, don't kill me. Debbie made me do this whole thing. She talked me up, said I'm not a man if I don't go ahead and say these things and make these videos. Don't hurt me. Be gentle. All right. So I'm not seeing anything else. Debbie, quit laughing. I can't believe these people are making videos. I can't believe these people are making videos and they're happy that this happened. They're effing happy that this happened. If he was a civilian, if they did it to him and he had money and security, they'll kill us too. It's horrible. It's horrible. If you're watching, don't hurt me, Andrew. Benny, please don't kill me. Before you penetrate me, use Super Soaker Gel. So back in. Help me. All right, let's see if there's anything. We're at 1 hour. We're going to end this. I don't see anything. Debbie, is there any other intel coming in that you may have that we can see? I did look at the footage. It definitely came from the left side. And I think it was Ooh, hold on a minute, Deb. We got something else. Manhunt continues for shooter. Now, are you seeing this this thumbnail, Debbie? I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Hold on a minute. Let me pull this up. Can you see this thumbnail right here? It's showing someone standing on that roof. Now, you have to be careful because there could have been people up on the roof. After this all occurred and people started running or whatever and got out of there, there could have been people that went up on the roof to check to see if they can see a guy. And someone snapped a photo and said, "That's him." We don't know. We don't know. Don't kill me. I'm just a white honky. Tiny. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty crazy. You know, everybody tells you you have freedom of speech, but then when you do say your freedom of speech, they tell you, well, you can't do it that way. Or wait, that wasn't the proper way to do it. Oh my God. You're telling me I have the right in America of freedom of speech and lay it down any way I want, but then you go ahead and say, well, it just wasn't moral proper to talk about this. Think of the family. We're thinking of all of our families. My condolences go out to the Kirk family. But we're trying to figure out how the machine broke down so it don't happen to others. Let's check this out real quick before we leave. I want to see if this is actually footage of a guy on the roof. Mutual almost. Wild Kingdom.
This is breaking news from KSL.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
It's odd to be a part of something like this. It's
political.
horrible, of course,
He said it
and
was
really sad
political.
for him and his family.
No man deserves to go through that. Praying for his wife, praying for his kids. You know, it's sad that it has to happen. And you just hope that people can find a way to love others.
It's just surreal, really, being in the moment. Because you're like, this could never happen to me until it does.
While the suspect is at large, we believe this was a targeted attack towards one individual. This is a tragic moment in our state and in our country.
A tragedy unfolding right here in Utah. Political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at an event at Utah Valley University.
As the investigation continues, we have team coverage this morning as officers and officials piece together what happened during Wednesday's shooting.
News specialist Lori Pritchard is live from UVU's campus with more. Lori?
Tamara, good morning. We have just learned that there will be a 7 a.m. press conference this morning with law enforcement as we await details on the latest in this investigation. We haven't learned much since the press conference yesterday, where we learned that they had taken 2 people into custody but had since released them. But as it stands right now at this hour, there is a killer still on the loose. Now, I'm here at UVU campus this morning where classes effectively canceled for today. Take a look at some of this video that we have of what happened at 12:20 yesterday afternoon when one gunshot rang out. Thousands of people were attending this event held by Charlie Kirk here. And you can see it was his American comeback tour. It was his first stop, the first campus that he was holding this tour when this gunshot rang out. The bullet struck struck his neck. He falls to the ground. He is later pronounced dead at the hospital. Now, soon after that shooting, a person of interest, as I mentioned, was taken into custody. Seen on a widely shared video, he was in handcuffs. He was later found not to be involved in the shooting. Then not long after that, the FBI took a second person of interest in for questioning. The FBI director then taking to social media saying that that second person of interest was cleared and then released, and the shooter was believed to be in all black and shot from the roof of the Losi building. Now, we've seen hundreds of viewer videos of what happened yesterday afternoon. Two of those videos stand out to us as investigators try to piece together exactly what happened. Now, that shot was taken from approximately 200 yards. As investigators sort through exactly.
There we go. Bingo. That's what we seen yesterday, Debbie. Remember when we were doing that video? Before anybody, and one of the people in chat said, it looks like there's somebody on the roof. And I stopped it, and that was it. That was it. But here's the thing. The camera is moving. And I thought it was a vent. It looked, because I had the satellite photo pulled up, and I was like, that might be a vent. But that building is actually way back there. What you're seeing, this is a reflection of the other side of the walkway, because that's all encased in glass, where it was above where Charlie was. So the guy that's using the camera's moving. So anything that is stable is going to look like it's moving. But I went back and looked, and it does move. But that building is way back there. See, that it's actually, this building here, you can see the roof line. It comes across here, and then it comes back this way. That's where all these people are standing and everything. So this actually, what you're seeing here is a reflection in the window of the back windows of where this guy is standing. And that's what you're seeing. So does that look like a man now? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a man. But here's the thing. It's set up on the wrong side. I hate to burst your bustle. Or wait, burst your bustle. Bust your bubble. But that's a straight on shot at Charlie. And if that's the case, that building is closer to the center of Charlie. And maybe the guy did make a mistake. And it was like the FBI were saying the other day that they believe it was supposed to be a headshot. And it might have veered off. Maybe. Especially if the guy had a disability. We're seeing photos and the guy keeps walking around. Debbie, did you see them photos that I just showed? That JLR was showing? It looks like the guy's hands are it looks like he's got fist. Like he's making fist in the one photo. And the other photo, it looks like maybe something's wrong with his hands when he opens them up. They look different or something. You're right about that. You spotted that, Debbie, that something was wrong with his hands. Now, if you're looking, that mountain range is closer than what you think, Debbie. And that's why I was asking, is it possible that someone could have took that shot from the top of the mountain? With our technology today, I would be stupid not to ask the professionals, is it capable? I watched, my buddies were in military. I watched a lot of military stuff. These guys taking shots from 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. And some of the most deadliest snipers. Is it possible? I don't know. Is that a reflection in the back and it's coming through? I don't think so. I think that's the mountain range. So depending on where you were, the mountains looked closer. In some footage, they look farther away. And that's like the sound of when this happens. If you listen to some videos that were right next to Charlie, they were front row. What does it sound like? It sounds like somebody shot him from right off the side, like they were 10 feet away But if you listen to other videos, it sounds like a pellet gun going off. That's all you hear is psst. And somebody turns their head backwards and looks behind them. They were in front of Charlie, but way up on the building platform. Like I said, a microphone will pick up a lot of stuff, depending on where you're at. If you're closer to the explosion, it's going to be louder. If you're farther away, it's not going to be that loud. Plus, it ricocheted off everything around there. There's just too many buildings. Without footage, you wouldn't be able to tell exactly where it came from because there's just so many buildings around there. It'd just be echoing all over. And you have to remember, Charlie was set up right underneath that boardwalk. It was like a tunnel. And it just echoed. It was a lot louder. I'm used to hearing, that's the guy being hit. I'm not, all the footage I've watched, that's all you hear when the guy is hit. Not a big explosion, like it sounds like the guy was standing 20 feet away from Charlie and shot him from the side in the neck. It depends on your microphone, the position of where you're at. And we don't know if this was something political, like they're saying. They're saying this was a political hit. Well, then everything they said could be a lie. Wasn't a long rifle. It was a pistol. Maybe not. Maybe it was a fireball. Maybe the guy used a fireball. Like Sullivan talked about that. One of the most powerful handguns, but one of the most deadliest. And it's only 12 inches long. That you can get into, and that's a bolt action. It's a bolt action weapon. The fireball. Look it up. Is that possible? Yeah, one shot. He didn't have time. He put it in his backpack and left. It's only 12, 13 inches long, I think. The fireball. That is what Jimmy Sullivan was talking about with the JK, JRK, or J, whatever, Mr. Kennedy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's just a little 12, 13, or 14-inch weapon. It's a pistol, but a bolt-action pistol. You can put a scope on it.
What happened here. Take a look at this particular video. In the seconds after the shot was fired, one of the videos captures a person running across a roof that is on top of the Losi building there. And you see that person spotlighted here. Investigators tell us it's likely that that shot was taken from the roof. And then we have another video. Take a look at this.
So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And now he's right there.
A UVU student sharing that video with us that may give us a different vantage point to a person on the roof. He also mentioned seeing that individual run across the Losi building. Another viewer sent us this image of a person standing in the exact same spot. We know investigators are looking at security camera video from the university, but they do admit it doesn't really paint a complete picture. It's really just someone dressed in dark clothing. Now, as we...
Wow. Well, this would be easy to solve. The security team, you'd have to ask Charlie, was any of your guys up there? No. Then you ask the police department, did you have any guys anywhere on any of them roofs? No. Well, there you go. There's your guy. Just like that. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I got to do everything in this country. Debbie, don't kill me. please. I'm just a mini weight. All right, let's play this a little bit more, and then I think we're going to end this. There's not
Understand it this morning that Charlie Kirk's body was taken to the medical examiner's office, and that's where Brian Carlson is live for us this morning. And Brian, we talked to so many people who witnessed this shooting, and they experience their own sense of trauma in trying. As they described it, it was a chaotic scene, and one girl we spoke with said that she was trying to save her life.
Yeah, and that was the real sense of panic that people felt yesterday there, Lori. Some still in disbelief. Many others coming off that fight or flight mode, having to run for their lives. Many now this morning simply mourning Kirk and the sheer tragedy of his death. Some even lining the motorcade that took his body from the hospital here to the medical examiner's office. Now, KSL did speak with many of those dozens and dozens of different witnesses who saw what happened there at UVU. Some as close to 10 to 15 away from Kirk when he was shot. May described hearing the shot and seeing the blood and then Kirk slump over. And the simple panic of what they had just witnessed and where that shooting could have been coming from.
It's a real scary moment, not knowing what's going on with everybody around, and it's like, where are they?
You get chills and like you kind of freeze, but you're like, I have to save my life.
It was terrifying. None of us knew what was going on. I was just in class. Someone heard a stampede of people running down the hallway.
Now, during the panic, immediately after the shooting, one witness says he actually dove into one of the nearby fountains to protect himself, not knowing how many more shots would follow. So coming up in the next half hour, I'll let you hear from that witness who...
Yeah, it'd probably be hard to pinpoint where it came from. It's all concrete buildings. And if you know anything about sound, music, or whatever, concrete, what does it do? Echoes. It appears that a sound is coming from the left side, but really that sound came from the right side. I know it's crazy when it comes to buildings and concrete and tunnels and what we're seeing right now. It's very hard to pinpoint where the shot came from, because any expert will tell you sound percussion. It bounces off of everything and makes it appear to sound like it came from somewhere else when it really didn't. So yeah, that'd be, where'd it come from? I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. The phone videos of these people sitting in the front row that have been released, it sounds like the shot was closer. We're hearing the pow when the thing hits Charlie, right? But we're hearing from the gun when it should be the opposite. Right? That's all we should be hearing. If you were real close to Charlie, you shouldn't be hearing like the weapon was fired 10 feet away. Does that make sense to anybody? But then again, you have to remember microphones and phones. They all have different microphones. And depending on where you're at, the sound could have been ricocheting and making it sound closer than what it really was. It's crazy. It's all this forensic stuff. And you think it's just blood and wounds on bodies and everything. But no, you got to determine where it came from. How did it happen? Do we know where it came from? Being that we could have walked in the middle of that area, that campus, before anybody was in there, and it be empty. And I bet you could have stood right where Charlie was and clapped your hands, and it would have just sounded like it came from everywhere. The reverb in that area is probably very good, meaning it's an echo. Chunk, 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 chunk. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. Huh, what the heck? Huh. All right. All right. Someone sent me some footage. Facebook, I think. I'm gonna have to check that out. Now, here's the thing. I know there's better footage than what we're seeing on these cell phones, and that's because there was cameras, high quality cameras, set up all around Charlie. So eventually, this'll all come out, and you'll hear it, see it. Could the shot have came from the back? I don't know. I know I seen a video of after all this happened and they got Mr. Kirk out of there. There was some guy that walked up underneath the tent and took either some kind of a device or camera down that was right behind that dude. Plus, there's new footage out that two guys were standing behind Charlie, and they were throwing signs. One touched his hat and then pulled on his hair, and the other guy that was dressed in black or something touched his arm and did it was almost looked like baseball calls, and then all you hear is poof right after that. He didn't even get done making the call, and phew, they took Charlie out. So what's going on? Debbie, I think I sent you that video. I think I sent you that video. Let me look on Facebook. Hold on. Let me look. Let me pull up. I think I sent Debbie that video. Wait a minute. Didn't I send you that video where the guy was making like baseball calls or something? Hold on, I'm looking. Dang it, I can't find it. Hold on a minute. There's so much there. Debbie, hold on a minute. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, that's what I remember that video I showed you. I think I sent it to you where there was guys standing behind him. One was in a white hat and they were throwing calls. Dang it, that ain't it. Hold on, Debbie. I said, hold on, whoever's messaging me for a minute. I'm looking on Facebook or something in Messenger. What the heck happened right here? Try. Yeah. Dang it, I can't find it. Hold on a minute. I can't find it right now, Debbie. I'll probably end this. I'm trying to look in Messenger. I thought I sent you that video, Deb, where there was two guys standing behind Charlie on the right-hand side, and one guy had a white hat on, sunglasses. He pulled his hat down. He touched the top of his hat, the brim of his hat, pulled it down, and Jesus. All right, I'll be back, folks. I'll be back.